Greetings, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Welcome back to my Valheim Hardcore series. Today, very quick one. Got to be personal best actually, about 12 minutes. Bit of an update on our technology and a little bit of gathering and exploring. So, get yourself comfy and let's get on with the show. Alright, so while we're out and about and doing our explorations and mining and all that other good stuff, we are only using our honey and 2 kinds of cooked meat because they're very easy to replenish, and honestly it doesn't matter how much of that we use, we're always going to get more. Now we've added a couple of extra beehives and I just put them up on these stumps, not entirely sure why. Just aesthetic reason, I guess. They work just as well if you chuck them straight on the ground, but this is the area of the map that we're going to be heading towards. As you can see, we've already mined out 1 copper. There's a crypt there on the corner. I can't remember if we cleared that in the live stream or not, but we'll come back and explore that one at some stage. But you can see a little bit further up the coast we have marked another copper deposit, so that is our destination at this stage. So we're going to hop in our nice reliable carve and head up the coast and see what kind of a mining camp we can get going. Alright, minor plot twist. We're not actually going all the way up the coast just yet. I remembered that in the previous play session I actually left a bunch of copper here still smelting, and indeed I've left a bucket load in the chest here as well. So we're going to grab all of that while we're here, and then we'll head up a bit further and see what we can get up to there. Alright, because we've actually completed mining the copper out here and I've already scoured this section of the coast for tin, we didn't really have any use for leaving those smelters there, so we've elected to take those with us to our next camp. Now we're just going to fast forward up the coast here. That's that crypt. I am actually reasonably sure we cleared that one on the live stream, but I'll stick my nose in there in my next play session and just confirm. Not much else going on along here. There is a troll cave. Didn't really see any sort of troll related issues from that cave, thank heavens. Because this is exactly where we're going to get our little camp set up. We can see our big copper node there. It is, that's not where I'm looking now, but it's off to our left. There is quite a bit of it out of the ground, and they're the ones I do like to mine because I don't like spending all the time, you know, digging into the ground to get the rest of the copper. If you get one of these big ones that's sticking out of the ground, whatever you leave behind is generally not very much. Now, spin on roughly a day, we've put together ourselves a nice little camp here. A couple of little comfort items. We are of course in the Black Forest, so coming across some core wood to make some more comfort items, not very hard to do. So we've done all of that. We've got ourselves a quite useful rested buff, and now we can get on with the business of the day. And you'll notice we are up to day 73 now. So we've had a lot of time spent in the background with, smelting and digging and all that other stuff. I'll show you guys a little bit here and there just to show you which bits of the map that I'm clearing out. But honestly, I'm sure you will I'm sure you will agree, as soon as I put my teeth back in, that you've got much better things you'd rather be doing with your day than watching me swinging a pickaxe for about 2 hours. So, yeah. You're welcome. Anyway, we're getting our little smelting setup here sorted out. Then we need a bucket load of wood. Now, we can equally burn any kind of wood and turn it into charcoal. And look, we're in the middle of a forest. I'm not going to specifically set aside core wood just because I want some back at the base. Here, it's all just charcoal in disguise. So if it's wood, we're going to be making a wood pile out of it, and we're going to be burning it to make charcoal. And if we actually properly need core wood for something back at the base, we'll come out and get it special. Oh yeah, I had a visit from a 2-star Grey Dwarf, and I was like, ooh, okay, this might be painful. Yeah, kind of. I mean, my block is blocking most of the damage from him when I actually bothered to remember to block properly, but even when he was getting a swing at me in between, he wasn't doing that much damage. I mean, this troll armor is actually pretty good against most of the typical denizens that you come across in the Black Forest. Yes, trolls do still hurt. Yes, Drago still hurt. Sorry, not Drago. Brutes. I mean, Drago hurt as well, obviously, but they're not from the Black Forest. Yeah, the brutes still hurt, but having a fully upgraded troll set when I can actually manage that is it's definitely worth its weight in gold in terms of an armor set. And when I'm out and mining and exploring, it's definitely my preferred option when it comes to armor to wear. Just because the full metal armor is just so sodding heavy, it slows you down so much. Everything takes longer, and ultimately it doesn't really give you that much more armor in compensation. So yeah, just putting that out there. Now we're pushing up the coast here because, as we know, we want to make bronze. Now we're getting lots of copper, but we need to go out and get some tin to go with that to make bronze. So that is exactly what we're doing here. We're just having a little explore up the coast. We're going to see how much tin we can find, and we're going to see if there's any other little points of interest that we might come across along the way. Alright, we managed to fill up on tin. We've got, by now, a fair bit of copper on the go. Now, the thought had occurred to me, and indeed there was a couple of times where I started loading up the carve with stacks of copper and tin, and then I thought, well, most of it's just going to end up getting smelted into bronze. It's kind of stupid just to lug all of this back to the main base, only to smelt it there. I may as well, get more of it here by smelting entire stacks of bronze and taking those back, because that's essentially the equivalent of 3 stacks of the other metal, because it would take 2 stacks of copper and 1 stack of tin to make 1 stack of bronze. So in order to smelt bronze, we need a forge, and for a forge we just need copper and a couple of odds and ends that we already had with us. So that's what we're going to do. We've just slapped our forge there underneath the hut, because why not? We're going to be lugging heavy metal around. It didn't seem like much of a good idea to put it inside, because then I have to, lug stuff through the door and then back out again. And the hut's kind of pokey. So, yeah, we've just settled for putting it undercover there so it doesn't degrade. So, yeah, that's kind of the plan. I went with a slightly different experiment there with turning wood piles into charcoal. It sort of worked. Essentially, I just threw a single campfire down and put wood piles around it, and they did, of course, catch fire, except one of them that didn't must have been just a little bit too far away. So I may end up using that as a future tactic as well, instead of just using my tried and true torch method. But stay tuned. I'm sure I will come up with some more experiments in terms of how to burn things down in future episodes. Speaking of episodes, we've reached the end of this one. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and to consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Until next time, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Thank you very much for watching, and make sure you have yourself an absolutely fantastic day.